Hey everyone, welcome to another deep dive. I think this was going to be really, really interesting. We're going to be talking about habits and how small daily habits can just completely transform your life.
Ooh, I like that.
You know, those little things we do every day that end up shaping who we are and what we accomplish. We're diving into some motivational writing that just nails it, how those little efforts can compound over time and lead to massive changes in every part of your life.
Yeah.
Mindset, finances, relationships, purpose, the whole nine yards.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. The material really digs into the psychology of it all, explaining how once a habit is formed, it actually takes less willpower than those one-off things we try to do. It's like you're building a muscle.
Oh, that's a good point.
The more you use your
Yep,
self-discipline,
makes
the
sense.
stronger it gets.
It's like training for a marathon, right? You wouldn't just
Yeah.
jump into it. You build up your endurance over time. And the writing even shares this story about this talented young man who just never reached his full potential because he lacked discipline, couldn't follow through on his ideas.
Yeah. Just goes to show you consistency and follow-through are key, even
Yeah.
with natural talent.
Yeah, even with natural talent.
But it's not all about action. The material also really stresses a positive attitude.
Oh, for sure.
Not in like a naive way,
Right?
but like as a foundation
Yeah.
for opportunity and resilience.
So it's not about pretending everything's perfect, but approaching challenges with a solutions-oriented mindset.
Exactly. It's like having that belief that even when things get tough, you can bounce back. There's a lot of talk these days about, manifesting and all that.
Yeah.
And while I don't want to get too woo-woo, the material does touch on the idea that a positive attitude can actually help you see opportunities
Oh, yeah.
you might have missed otherwise.
I like that. So how can our listener put this into practice? Like, what can they do starting today to cultivate that more positive outlook?
There are some super simple but powerful actions that anyone can take. I think the first one is gratitude. Take a few minutes each day and just appreciate the good things in your life. Even the
Mhm.
small things. Small things.
And then try to shift your focus from dwelling on problems to
Mhm.
actively seeking solutions.
Yeah.
You know, it's subtle,
Yeah.
but it's a powerful shift in mindset.
It makes a big difference. This next section I thought was really interesting because it talks about communication skills
Oh, yeah.
and self-discipline.
It's like at first glance, you think, how are those connected?
Yeah.
But the material makes a really strong case for how they're actually totally intertwined.
Interesting.
You know, effective communication, whether it's speaking or listening, it's crucial
It's true.
for success in every area of life,
Yeah.
your relationships, your work,
Everywhere.
everywhere.
And I think the listening part is so important because it's about truly hearing and understanding the other person's perspective.
Right.
Not just waiting for your turn to talk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you've got self-discipline, which the material really emphasizes as the key to turning desired actions
Oh, yeah.
into habits.
Makes sense.
Think about it. Once something becomes a habit, it's almost automatic.
Requires less willpower, less mental energy.
It's true.
Right.
Think about like exercising. You know, once you get into that habit,
Right.
it stops feeling like a chore and you actually start to look forward to it.
Totally.
Yeah.
So if we want to make something like reading a daily habit,
Yeah.
we need to focus on establishing that routine
Yeah.
instead of just relying on willpower alone.
I like it. The material gives a really cool example about turning reading into a daily ritual for effortless learning and growth.
And it doesn't have to be this big time commitment. Even just 15 minutes a day
Yeah.
can make a huge difference over time.
Absolutely. This next part really resonated with me. It talks about mindset,
Oh, yeah.
specifically how our limiting beliefs can hold us back.
Yeah.
There's this example of a man who was constantly focusing on the negative,
Right.
like all the reasons why he couldn't achieve his goals. And guess what? His negativity became a self-fulfilling prophecy.
It's classic.
Yeah.
It's how our thoughts can either limit us or empower us. What's interesting is that the source doesn't say, try to force those negative thoughts away. It says to consciously replace them with more empowering thoughts.
So it's about becoming aware of those self-defeating thoughts and choosing to reframe them.
Exactly. Instead of thinking, I can't do this,
Yeah.
try shifting your language to, I'm learning how to do this.
I like that.
It's about adopting what they call a growth mindset.
Yeah.
Recognizing that challenges are opportunities for growth and development.
And even setbacks
Of course.
to be valuable learning experiences.
Absolutely. It's an ongoing practice, this rewiring of our thought patterns.
But even small shifts can lead to big changes.
You got it. Now let's shift gears a little bit and talk about something that we all have
Okay.
in equal measure,
Okay, I'm intrigued.
but often struggle to manage.
Oh, is this time? Time
Time,
management? I knew it.
time management. It's,
We've all been there.
that feeling of being constantly busy,
Yeah.
but not actually
Getting anything done
getting the important things done.
that we want to get done.
The material really dives into the difference between being active
Right.
and being effective. It's not about just cramming more into your day. It's about prioritizing
Right.
what matters and using your time intentionally.
So what are some practical strategies
Okay.
that our listener can start using today
No.
to better manage their time?
The source offers some really great tips. One of the simplest but most effective.
Okay.
Create a daily plan.
Okay.
Take a few minutes every morning.
Yeah.
And outline your top priorities for the day.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be fancy.
No.
Just a simple list
Yeah.
to keep you focused.
Keep you on track.
Yeah.
And, I think this one is so hard for a lot of people, but learning to say no to things that don't align with your goals.
That is huge.
It's about setting those boundaries and protecting your time
Right.
for what matters.
That's so important. And it's
Good.
not just about work or commitments.
It's also personal.
It's also about giving yourself permission
Yes.
to rest and recharge.
Yes.
If you're constantly pushing yourself without taking breaks, you're going to burn out.
You will.
And you'll be less effective in the long run.
You'll be less effective.
Yeah.
Let's move on to something that I think is so important in today's rapidly changing world,
Okay, what's that?
and that's continuous learning.
Oh, that's a good one.
The world doesn't stop evolving, so neither should we.
Right.
And the writing has this great anecdote about Mr. Schuff, who was a huge advocate for lifelong learning.
Oh, yeah, I remember him.
Remember that saying of his, the more you learn, the more you earn?
Oh, yeah.
Makes so much sense. Where the more knowledge and skills we acquire,
Totally.
the more valuable we become
In every area.
in every area of our lives.
Yeah.
So what are some small daily actions our listener can take
Okay.
to incorporate this continuous learning into their lives?
It can be as simple as just setting aside 10 or 15 minutes each day to read something new. Yeah.
An article, a blog post, a few pages of a book.
Anything.
Anything. Listen to a podcast
Yeah.
or an audiobook during your commute.
I love that.
There are tons of online courses available.
Oh, so many.
A lot of them are free or very low cost.
It's true.
So the possibilities are endless.
I love it. It's about making learning a part of your routine,
Yeah,
not just something you do in a formal setting.
exactly.
Let's talk about something that often causes a lot of anxiety and confusion.
Oh, what's that?
Finances.
Finances.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's favorite.
Everybody loves talking about money.
Yeah, but the material makes a really good point. There's often this disconnect between earning money
Right.
and actually managing it well.
Yeah.
It's not just about how much you make,
Right.
but what you do with what you have.
It's about making it work for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the source highlights how even small daily actions
Yeah.
can make a big difference
Over time. That's right.
So, start by just tracking your expenses for a week or two. Well, that's good.
You might be surprised where your money is actually going.
It's true.
Then use that info
Yeah.
to create a basic budget.
And a budget doesn't have to be complicated.
Yeah.
It's just a plan to make sure you're spending less than you earn
Right.
and allocating some of your income to savings and investments.
Exactly. And speaking of investing,
Oh, yes.
the source gives this classic piece of financial advice.
Hit me with it.
Spend less than you earn and invest the rest.
Simple but powerful.
Sounds simple, but it does require discipline
Yeah.
and a willingness to delay gratification.
Which is a muscle we can all build.
Absolutely.
It's about making those small, consistent choices today that will pay off in the future.
You got it.
And on that note, let's dive into this next section, which is all about personal development, that ongoing journey
Oh, I love this topic.
of becoming the best versions of ourselves.
The source really emphasizes that personal development isn't about achieving perfection,
Yeah.
but about continuous growth.
And progress. It's constantly striving to improve your skills,
Yeah.
your knowledge, and even your character.
Because if we're not growing, we're stagnant, right?
Yeah. And the world around us
Keeps moving.
keeps moving.
So how do we make personal development a daily practice?
That's the question, right?
That is the million-dollar question.
Well, the source suggests starting by really understanding yourself,
Okay.
your strengths, your weaknesses, your habits, your tendencies.
It's like self-awareness?
Totally. Once you have a clear picture of where you are, you can
Right.
set targeted goals for growth.
I love that. And it's important to remember that personal development isn't just about adding new things.
Hmm.
It's also about letting go of old habits
Oh, yeah.
or beliefs
That no longer serve you.
that might be holding us back.
Exactly.
I love the phrasing that the source uses,
What's that?
becoming more,
Oh, yeah.
rather than simply achieving more.
I love that.
I think that really captures the essence of personal growth.
It really does.
It's about evolving into a better version of ourselves,
Mm.
not just accumulating accomplishments.
Good.
Okay, folks, we're about to dive into two concepts that I think have the power to really radically shift your life:
I'm ready.
purpose and gratitude.
Ooh, powerful stuff.
These are really at the heart of living a fulfilling and meaningful life.
I agree.
The source reminds us that having a sense of purpose
Yes.
gives our lives direction.
Yeah. Why do you do what you do?
It's about knowing why you get out of bed each morning,
Right.
with that sense of passion
Motivation.
and motivation.
It's not something you just stumble upon, though.
No, it's a journey.
It's a process.
Yeah, an ongoing journey of exploration and reflection and alignment.
You caught it. The source even shares this incredibly moving story
I remember this one.
about a man who achieved what many would consider the pinnacle of success.
Oh yeah, he had it all.
Wealth, fame, everything.
Everything.
But he was utterly miserable
Because they lost sight
of his purpose.
of his purpose.
Yeah, and it's a powerful reminder that without that sense of purpose,
Even the greatest achievements can feel empty.
absolutely. The source suggests a few ways to cultivate that sense of purpose, and I think the first one is reflecting on your values,
Yeah.
your passions, and the impact you want to make on the world.
And then start taking action, even if it's just small steps,
Absolutely.
to align your daily choices with those values and aspirations.
You know, actions speak louder than words.
They do.
So let's talk about gratitude,
Okay.
which is often touted as this key to happiness
Yeah.
and well-being.
It's a big one these days.
The source emphasizes its power
Mm-hmm.
to reshape your whole perspective on life.
It's about shifting that focus from what you lack to what you have.
Exactly, from scarcity
Yeah.
to abundance.
I like that. And one of the things I found really fascinating
What's that?
is that gratitude isn't just this passive feeling.
Yeah.
It's something you can actively cultivate.
It's a practice.
Yeah, the source shares this story about a woman who was going through a really, really difficult time,
I remember this.
feeling just completely lost and hopeless.
Mm-hmm.
And someone suggested that she just write down one thing each day that she was grateful for.
Simple.
So simple. And at first she was really skeptical,
Yeah.
but she committed to trying it.
And
But
look
it
at
happened.
her whole perspective started to shift.
Isn't that amazing?
She started to see possibilities
Yeah.
instead of obstacles.
Obstacles.
And she was able to rebuild her life
Wow.
with this new sense of hope and resilience.
So powerful. It's a testament to the impact that even those smallest acts of gratitude can have
Yeah.
on your well-being.
And the best part is gratitude is easy to practice.
It is.
Just take a few moments each day to appreciate the people in your life, your
Yeah.
health, your home, the beauty of nature,
Yeah.
anything that brings you joy.
Well, that brings us to the end of part 1
Already.
of our deep dive into the power of habits. We've covered a lot of ground,
We have.
from the compound effect of small choices to the importance of mindset, communication, self-discipline, even touched on the power of purpose and gratitude.
Lots of good stuff.
As we move into part 2, I want you to consider this. What is one area you'd like to focus on improving starting today?
You know, it's funny how just shifting your focus to like one small area can really have a ripple effect across other parts of your life. It's like that saying, how do you eat an elephant?
Ooh, I like this.
One bite at a time.
One bite at a time. Okay, and speaking of those small steps leading to big results, what really stood out to me from this material was the emphasis on how consistent actions, even if they seem small, can really accumulate over time.
Totally.
It's like building a house brick by brick.
Each of those bricks is a daily habit. You know, those seemingly insignificant choices that when repeated consistently actually form the foundation
Yeah.
of a really successful life. And the research is fascinating. It actually shows it takes, on average, 66 days to form a new habit.
Oh, wow.
So we're not talking instant gratification here. We're playing the long game.
So encouraging because it means we don't have to make drastic changes all at once.
Right.
We can focus on those little wins and just trust that they'll eventually lead to something incredible.
Exactly. And it's not just about any action, you know, it's about aligning those actions with your values.
Ooh, I like that.
This is something the source really emphasizes, you know.
Yeah.
When you're living in accordance with your values, your actions feel more authentic, more purposeful, and ultimately more fulfilling.
So it's not just going through the motions, it's about making choices that truly reflect what matters to you.
Exactly. Take some time to really think about those core values,
Yeah.
those guiding principles that shape how you see the world.
Hmm.
Once you really understand them, you can start making decisions that line up with those beliefs,
It's like living with intention,
right? Exactly.
making choices that reflect who you are and what you stand for.
And, sometimes that might mean making adjustments along the way,
Of course.
course correcting if you find that your actions aren't matching up with your values.
Yeah, it's an ongoing process. It's
Exactly.
self-reflection and adjustment.
Totally. One thing I hear a lot from people is that they struggle with self-doubt.
Oh, yeah, for
You
sure.
know, those inner
Yeah,
voices
those voices.
that tell them they're not good enough or capable enough to achieve their goals.
We've all been there.
The source really speaks to this and emphasizes that we all have unique talents and abilities,
Hmm.
and that it's our responsibility to nurture those gifts
Yeah.
and let them shine. There's a great quote by Marianne Williamson that I love.
Okay, hit me with it.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure.
Oh, it's good.
I love that one.
So it's not about becoming someone we're not, but really embracing our true selves
Yes,
and allowing our potential to just come through.
you got it. And the source actually uses this great metaphor of a seed planted in the ground.
Yep.
It has the potential to grow into this beautiful tree,
Yeah.
but it needs the right conditions, sunlight, water nourishment to really thrive.
So if we think of our potential as that seed, what are those conditions that we need to provide?
Well, it's things like surrounding ourselves with supportive people,
Yeah.
seeking out opportunities for learning and development, and most importantly,
Yeah.
believing in ourselves.
Believing in ourselves. I love that. It's about turning off those negative self-talk tapes and replacing them with positive affirmations.
Exactly.
One of the biggest things that I think holds people back is fear of failure.
Oh, yeah.
Taking action and things not working out the way we hoped.
The source really emphasizes embracing what it calls imperfect action.
Ooh, I like that.
Just taking that first step, even if you
Yeah.
don't have all the answers or feel 100% ready.
Because fear and uncertainty are a part of life,
They are.
but we can't let those things paralyze us.
Exactly. Sometimes the biggest breakthroughs come from those moments when we step outside our comfort zone
It's
and take a leap of faith. And the source quotes this: "The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek."
Ooh, that's good.
I love that one.
Powerful image. It's a reminder that sometimes the things that scare us the most are the things that will lead us to our greatest growth
Right.
and fulfillment.
Absolutely. And it's not always going to be easy.
Right.
There will be setbacks and challenges and obstacles along the way.
That's life.
It is. But that's where perseverance comes in.
I was going to say,
The source emphasizes not giving up on your dreams even when things get tough. It's like that famous quote by Winston Churchill: "Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts."
I think we often put so much pressure on ourselves
We do.
to achieve success so quickly.
Right.
But the reality is the road to success is rarely a straight line.
It's about developing resilience,
Yeah.
that ability to bounce back from those setbacks, learn from your mistakes, and just come back stronger.
So instead of viewing those obstacles as roadblocks,
Right.
we can choose to see them as stepping stones, as opportunities for growth and learning.
I love that. And, something I've learned in my own life is that it's not just about reaching the destination. It's
Yeah.
about enjoying the journey along the way.
Yeah, it's about the process.
The source talks about finding joy in the present moment, not just focusing on the end goal.
Being present.
Exactly. It's about cultivating gratitude for the journey itself, even with its ups and downs.
So it's like shifting your perspective from "I'll be happy when"
Yes.
to "I'm grateful for."
Exactly. And recognizing that happiness is not a destination. It's
Yeah.
a way of traveling.
Love that. So
Yeah.
instead of putting your happiness on hold until you achieve a certain goal or milestone, choose to find joy in the present moment, in the process of growing and striving.
And something that can make that journey so much more enjoyable and fulfilling is surrounding yourself with positive and supportive people.
100%. The people we spend time with have a huge impact
Sure.
on our thoughts, beliefs, and actions.
The source mentions a study that found that happiness is actually contagious. Isn't that cool?
That's amazing. So if you want to be happier, surround yourself with happy people.
Surround yourself with happy people. It's about building a tribe of people who uplift you, inspire you, believe in you, and challenge you to grow.
And just as important, I think, as surrounding yourself with positive influences is recognizing and maybe limiting
Mm-hmm.
your exposure to the negative ones.
Absolutely. It's
Yeah.
about setting boundaries with people who drain your energy,
Yeah.
who are constantly negative or critical, or who don't support your growth.
It's about protecting your own well-being
It
and
is.
creating space for those positive relationships to thrive.
Exactly. And while we're talking about well-being,
Yes.
I think it's super important to highlight what the source says about taking care of our physical and mental health.
It's crucial.
We can't really thrive in any area of our lives if we're neglecting our well-being.
It's true.
And there's actually a ton of research now showing how interconnected our physical and mental health are. When we take care of our bodies,
Yeah.
our minds benefit too.
So prioritize those things,
Yeah.
right? Getting enough sleep, eating nourishing foods, moving your body regularly, and finding healthy ways to manage stress.
And don't hesitate to seek professional help if you're struggling.
Absolutely.
There's no shame in asking for support.
And that wraps up part 2 of our deep dive.
Wow.
We really explored a lot of ground, haven't we?
We did. We talked about aligning your actions with your values, recognizing your potential taking action despite fear, persevering through obstacles, finding joy in the journey, and of course, surrounding yourself with the right people and taking care of your well-being.
In part 3, we'll delve into some additional strategies for actually incorporating all of this into your daily life, and we'll also explore this concept of continuous improvement. All right, welcome back for our final part of this deep dive. And we've talked about the why behind building those habits, and now I think our listeners are ready for the practical stuff, the how.
Absolutely. And the source material has some really great strategies. One of the first things it emphasizes is setting clear goals.
Yeah.
It's not enough to just have a vague idea
Yeah.
of what you want to achieve. You need a roadmap.
So instead of saying, I want to be more productive,
Yeah,
you have to define what that actually means for you. What does productive even look like?
exactly. It's about being specific and measurable. So instead of saying, I want to exercise more,
Yeah.
specific goal would be like, I'll walk for 30 minutes 3 times a week.
I like that. Or instead of, I want to read more,
Right.
it's, I'm going to read for 15 minutes every day before bed.
Yeah. Much more achievable that way, right?
It feels way more manageable when you break it down like that.
Totally. And you start hitting those smaller goals
Yeah.
and you build momentum.
And the motivation comes.
And motivation,
Yeah.
exactly. And here's another great tip.
Okay.
Break down those big goals into smaller steps. It's way less intimidating that way.
That's so true. Because I think so many people get overwhelmed by the enormity
Yeah,
of the end goal.
so true. So if your goal is to write a book, don't focus on the whole manuscript. Start by committing to writing 1 page a day, or even just for 15 minutes. And over time, those pages add up, and before you know it,
But you've got a book.
you've got a draft at least.
You've got a first draft.
Uh.
Okay, I'm going to use that one. What else does the source material have for us?
Okay, well, another key point is creating an environment that supports your goals.
Oh, yeah, your surrounding.
Exactly. We talked about the people you surround yourself with.
Right.
But it's also about your physical environment.
So if you're trying to eat healthier,
Right.
make sure your kitchen is stocked with healthy options.
Yeah. Get rid of the junk food.
And hide the Oreos.
Exactly.
Or if you're trying to exercise more, lay out your workout clothes the night before.
Set yourself up for success.
Get ready to go.
Remove those obstacles. Make it easier to make those good choices.
This next one is so important, but I think so many people struggle with it.
What's that?
Accountability.
Accountability. Oh, it's so easy to let things slide when you're only accountable to yourself.
It's true.
But when you have someone else checking in on you,
It's a game changer.
it can make all the difference.
It's like having a workout buddy or joining a group for whatever you're trying to achieve.
Right. That shared commitment can really help.
Keep you going.
Keep you going. Find someone you trust, a friend, a mentor, a coach, someone who will support you, encourage you, and, gently nudge you back on track
Yeah.
if you start to veer off course.
Someone who believes in you?
Yeah, having that belief can be really motivating.
Okay, we've covered so much in this deep dive.
Yeah.
Is there anything else from the source material?
One final thought that I really liked
Okay, hit me with it.
is this idea of continuous improvement. It's not about reaching a certain level and then stopping. It's always striving to grow, to learn, to become better.
So it's not about perfection.
Right.
It's about progress.
It's about progress. Embrace the challenges as opportunities for learning and growth. Never stop seeking ways to improve your skills, your knowledge, your life.
I love that.
The journey of personal growth is a lifelong adventure.
And on that note, I want to leave our listener with one final thought.
Huh.
What is one tiny habit
Yeah.
Just one little action that you can commit to today
Right now.
that will move you closer to your goals.
It doesn't have to be huge.
Yep.
Just one step in the right
The
direction.
one step in the right direction. Because remember, even the smallest actions, when repeated consistently, can transform your life.
They really can.
That's all for our deep dive into the power of small habits. We hope you gained some great insights
I think we did.
and strategies that you can start implementing today. Thanks for joining us.